Good morning and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. And today we're going to paint ceramics. This is a live show with live guests. So if you're watching the replay, thank you so very much for tuning in. But you might want to scoot ahead a little bit because I need to greet my guests as they start to pop in. And excuse me 1 minute, I've got a little bit of a weepy nose this morning. So today I'm going to paint a couple of ceramic pieces, and we'll see how far I get. And this is a similar type piece that I've done before, and I do have, I think it was some live streams. Hello, Pam. Good morning. So this is a similar type, hi, Dar, project. But these are little ladybugs. I purchased these online. Gail, hi. Wonderful. How are you doing? There's our Gail. She's recuperating. She's recuperating. And so I picked out a couple of colors. I think I have a direction of how I'm going to go. I'll hopefully get to be, hi, Melody, where there's some dry brushing. Hopefully, the fiddly part with this is getting your base coats down. And a lot of times I will paint my bisque piece one solid color and then dry brush. But I wanted this to look a little different. And so I've painted the little faces. I did that quite a while ago. I think when I did this little gal. I don't know why I didn't get two sunflower babies, but maybe they only had available because these folks that I got this from were online. And I think perhaps they only had her, but they had the two different style ladybugs. And see, her, I wanted her to make her look like she kind of was green. Oh, look, I put a little flower on her bum. I forgot I did that. So, hey, Marty, good morning. Nice to see everyone here. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. So I'm going to just start. I've already started. I'm going to continue with my painting of my bisque. So I was saying earlier, if this is what I would call a base coat. I'm just base coating different areas of the piece. So if you're watching the replay, you might want to scoot ahead a little bit. I have two channels. The other channel, I'm hoping to shut that down, but I'm nervous about doing that. I've got about 700 people over there. Of course, I haven't posted anything to that channel in a very long time because my plan is to just have one channel. One channel is enough to keep track of. Now, you might ask, why do I have two channels? Which is a very good question. It's because when I started on YouTube, I had no idea what I was doing. And I ended up with two channels. One I was thinking I would have for personal things, and the other one I guess I was thinking I would have for business craft stuff, art stuff. Hey, Candy, good morning. And as I got going, I realized I don't need to. It was silly. So now I've got 730 folks on that other channel that have subscribed, and I've left videos and I've left announcements and asked them to move over here, which they may have done, but I have no way of telling. But it's kind of scary to just delete a channel and all your work that you have over there. So I was going to do it by the first of the year, but I haven't. I'm just a bit nervous. Hey, Mitzi. Morning, morning. Hi, Dana. Good to see everyone. This started out as what they call greenware. Hey, Angie. And I purchased it where it was already fired. So when you talk about ceramic, there are two scenarios. It all starts out as greenware. You have a bucket of slip. It's like a bucket of mud, is what it is. And years ago, when I first started with ceramics, we had a kiln, and my husband would pour. We had several molds, and my husband would pour the pieces for me. And so that then becomes like a fragile kind of, it's not super fragile, but if you put it in your hand and squashed it, you could bust it. So then, like, your mold is in two pieces. You've got a top half, bottom half, and they go together. You band it, you pour the slip in, you leave it sit for a couple of minutes. It depends on how thick you want the wall of your ceramic. See how you can see the hole down there? You can see like how thick that piece is. So that might take a couple of minutes, and your mold is dry when you pour your slip in. And what the it's a porous material. I forget what they're made of. I guess like hmm, I can see it in my head, but I'm not thinking of the word. Like a plaster of Paris kind of thing, something that drinks in the liquid. So when you leave that sit for a couple of minutes in that mold, it takes out some of the moisture out of that slip. And then you dump out the liquid that's left over. So it's just the inside of the mold is coated. And then we would leave it sit for hours, and then he would open them up, and then I would get, say, a piece like this. And then where the mold comes together, let me see if I can see. In this one, it looks like under here. See, then I would come along and sand all that off, wipe it down, and then we would put them in the kiln, fire them. They turn white, and this is what's called bisque. And then you can paint this with acrylic and then spray it with an acrylic sealer. And then this cannot be put in water or washed. If you want to do like dishes or a vase, or say you wanted to paint these as like lawn ornaments or something you put out in your garden, then you would glaze them. And glazing, you paint on the greenware before it's fired. And the paint for glazing is really like broken glass. And you paint that on and then put it in the kiln to fire it. And that glass melts and seals the bisque. Now, that's probably a lot more than anyone wanted to know that's here. But I mostly almost exclusively worked in bisque. And then there's a technique called dry brushing, which is a lot more popular than I thought it was. So I have a lot of folks that will watch my ceramic videos, and then they'll ask me questions. And so I got a couple of pieces to do, and have a hard time talking when I'm coming in there. And for years, while our kids were growing up, I was a stay-at-home mom. And I did ceramics when I was a youngin' through my Girl Scout troop, but then really didn't do anything with it after that. And then when my kids were born, my mom was going to a ceramic class, and she said, how about you, the nights that you can, how about you come out with me? We'll go to ceramic class. I'll give you a night out. And so my hubby said, yeah, that's fine. And then secretly he was thinking to himself, I did hear, Ange, I'm glad you're getting that taken care of. So you're just waiting for a date? Good girl. I'm very pleased. So then my husband, apparently he was thinking to himself, "What am I gonna do with all that crap she brings home?" But then he liked what I was bringing home, and we ended up this is, where I started with my art life, really, and, we did craft fairs, and we did quite well, and, I've shared a couple of times that at any given time, I might have 20. No, Melody, I just Googled ceramic bisque for sale. This was from, a private company, and I don't remember the name. I've had these for several years now. So, although I think you probably can get some through Amazon, but I like these little people. For me to go buy bisque that's already fired, the ceramics that's already fired, I have to travel, at least 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, they really are cute pieces. And between the gas and the time, it made sense to just order them. And of course, they're not lightweights, but the shipping was fairly reasonable from these folks. I love to do faces. There was a company called when I used to do ceramic. I'm certified in ceramics. I took a Duncan course many years ago, and that was so fun for me. Of course, I forget all that jazz now. But there was a company named Donna, Dona, and she did a lot of her molds had cutesy faces like these little babies have, and Easter rabbits and chicks, and she had Thanksgiving people. So then we ended up buying a kiln, and I had ladies come to our home in the evening, and they took ceramic lessons from me. And it's still quite popular. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there still interested. Now, every once in a while, you can find stuff that looks like this at Michael's, but I don't believe it's ceramic. It's. Oh, you did, Marty? Cool. I believe it's some kind of like plaster. I don't believe it's true ceramic at Michael's. But sometimes, like at Goodwill and stuff, you'll find where people have had something on their shelf and they've not painted it, and you can get something to paint for not a lot of money. But I'm just like I am picky with my yarn and picky with my handbags. I'm a ceramic snob. I just don't want to paint everything. Same with my coloring books. I like to color what I like to color. I don't like to color things that don't interest me, like mandalas. I mean, that just is not interesting to me at all. Now, have I ever colored them? Yeah, sometimes I might be in the mood, but generally speaking, I like to do faces or animals and stuff like that. So, these pieces, when I'm finished with them, we will spray them with an acrylic sealant, and you can brush on a sealant. But, you know, the spray goes on much nicer. And then these will just be decorations for on a shelf. Ah, good for you, Ange. I wish I could reach my toenails. So, these are not going to look like real life ladybugs. These are just going to be cute little ladybug babies. And so I wanted to put some kind of green on their little outfits. And I'm going to do them the red and black, which I don't know that I've ever seen a red and black ladybug in real life. The ones that I've seen are all that kind of orangey brown color. I'm sure there's probably hundreds of varieties. So I'm being really fiddly with this because it's her little outfit. Now, if you have any questions for me, please put them in caps so I can kind of pick up on what you're wanting to know. Good morning, Dawn. Hello, hello. Let's see here. It's hard to see where the lines kind of. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to do her little hat black. The spots, of course, black, and her little toes and feet, I think I'm going to do black. Now, once I get up next to these areas that are going to be a different color, I'm going to use a bigger brush. I had one gal on one of my ceramic videos leave a question and ask me why I didn't use a bigger brush in a particular spot I was painting. Well, I have no good answer. I just use whatever I pick up and whatever I'm comfortable with. And some folks are comfortable with a smaller brush and some with a lighter brush. I mean, a larger brush. So you just got to do what feels comfortable. See, now here, I don't know if you can see if it will. See a couple of those scrape lines? See, that's where the mold went together. And whoever cleaned this piece tried to mimic the little grooves in her shirt. They didn't do a very good job, but it's not easy to do once it comes out of the mold because you have a seam there and it's raised up and you have to use a little sanding, like a little sanding scrubby to get rid of the seam. And then a lot of times if you don't take care, you can lose your detail of your piece. Now I'm coming in with a darker color here, so I don't have to be too careful here. So I thought I would do the body in greens and then just concentrate on the back of the bug in red and black. So I'm going to switch to a bigger brush. I've got lots of ideas for some of my streams, but you know, sometimes you just don't have what you need to get it going, get your idea. So that's where I was this morning, and I've had these little cutie pies on my shelf for, oh my gosh, a couple years now. And I thought it's time to get them painted. So what's everyone else up to today? Today it's a beautiful day here in South Jersey. We're expecting our temperatures to be in the 80s. So hubby went out early. He's looking for things for the garden. Now, if you're familiar with painting at all, painting bisque or painting with acrylic paint, you will know that red is a difficult color to cover anything else with. Lovely in Maine? Yeah, I bet. So I'm trying to be careful around where I want the red to go because I don't want to have to cover the red. So how are you feeling, Gail? It's nice to see Gail. It's nice to see all. But Gail had surgery. She had her knee replaced. I wasn't expecting to see it today. It's a nice surprise. Now, when you're painting ceramic bisque, you want to just, because it kind of absorbs a little bit of the paint to some degree. So you want to make sure you don't have any white spots. That's one of the toughest things when you're base coating. I need a little tinier, I need a tinier brush here. About the same temp where you are. Yeah, and then it's going to get back down to 60, right? We've got a couple of days where it's going to be in the 80s, and then it's going to go back down to 60. My husband came outside. We have new neighbors to the, well, if you're looking at the front of the house, to the right of us. Not that it matters. And we're all old here, you know. We're all, this is a 55 plus community. So he was out, the new neighbor was out sunning himself yesterday. I didn't see. Hubby told me, and I'm just hoping he wasn't in a Speedo. I forgot to ask. Nights are the worst. Aw. All right, so I figure I have a couple of hours here. I know, right? Well, you don't know. Some of these old folks, you know, that's what they used to wear. If you're out in your backyard sunning yourself. My husband used to wear a Speedo. He was on a diving team or something when he was younger. That's what they wore. I'm like, you gotta stop wearing them when we were when we were first married. Gotta lose the Speedos, dude. And I mean, he had the body for it, but no, no. I remember going down the shore with girlfriends. This is after I was, you know, out working. And we would just sit on the beach and watch people, you know. It was like one of our favorite things to do. And the guys in the Speedo, and my one girlfriend, Joanne, oh my gosh, she couldn't see without her glasses. And that was back in the day of hard contact lenses. So she wouldn't have her lenses in. And I'd say, "Oh my gosh." And she's like, "What? What?" She's always fumbling for her glasses. And by the time she'd get her glasses on, her little face, you know, the main attraction was gone. Like, oh darn, missed it again. And I think I mostly pulled down. I got a little variety of paints here, but mostly I know, right? Although it's okay when you're watching the Olympics and the divers. Of course, they're all youngins, so how bad can that be? We have a pool. We have 2 pools here in our community. Some of the sites, I don't know. I'm the type of person, all right, I've always struggled with my weight, but even aside from that, I'm just not a two-piece person. Hey, Kimberly, good morning. And there's some ladies here, actually, well, there's a few. Like I said, we're 55 and plus community here. And my husband and I are like the younger ones. Well, of course, we've been here almost 10 years, so we're slowly become not becoming the younger ones. But um hey Kathy, how are you? Thanks, Kath. Um Most of the people, in our neighborhood and at the pool, they're like, in their 80s. And some of them still wear two-piece bathing suits. What is that about, girls? What is that about? I just I just can't I just can't wrap my brain around it. Good question, Gail. I think I paid online for these. They were probably close to $10 because they were already fired. It's a little cheaper if you buy the greenware and clean it yourself, but then if you don't have a place for it to be fired, you know, they charge you for firing. Now, I don't remember what we charged. Now, I decided to do a dark green, try to make it look like a bug body. Now, right now, everything's looking kind of flat. And I thought I'd like to do them together because what happens is, oh my gosh, I should tell you this. Let me interrupt myself. So I'm watching back one of my lives, right, to just see how it went and how it looked and all that jazz. I didn't realize I talk about myself, like I talk in the third person. I guess I do that a lot. I just caught myself. I was going to do it again. I was going to say, but Lori doesn't like that or whatever. That's a little freaky. Sorry about that, but anyway, now I forget what I was saying. So right now this looks really flat. There's Susan. Hi, Susan. Good morning. Oh, somebody went for a ride. Our dogs used to know ride. When we had a pool in our home in Pennsylvania, and above ground. It was a good sized one. We really enjoyed it. And when I would go out to the pool, I would take the dogs with me up on the deck, and we would throw them in, and they'd swim to the side, get cooled off, and then they'd lay in the sun. And then we moved here, and of course we have the 2 pools. Well, you can't take your dog there. So the first time after we moved in and we were going to the pool and I was getting into my bathing suit, The dogs went crazy. They were wiggling their tails and they're thinking, "Hot dog, we're getting to go to the pool." Oh my gosh, I felt so bad. The poor little girls wanted to go to the pool with mama. Kimberly said it has a gas-powered golf cart with a truck bed on the back, which is loaded up and go. Ooh, that sounds like something I'd like to do. Susan says she's been watching and listening to Lori and giggling over the stories. Oh my gosh. My husband would say, "Well, they're comfortable and they keep everything where you want it." I'm like, "Oh my gosh. I don't need to know that. Don't need to know that." Now I can see a lot of, I don't know if you'll be able to see. See how it's like drinking up in those. I've got some white spots there. I'm going to have to take care of that. All right, coming around the side here. Now this darker green is one of my favorite colors. I guess I should look to see if they still make it. This is a Ceram coat color called Gamal. I guess that's how you say it. Gamal. Now I'm sure I could do a wash if I wanted to. Never really tried that. You want to make sure you brush out your paint so you don't have lumps and bumps and, streaks. Take your time, Gail. We're just thrilled you're here. So Aunt Beck, I was watching, she doesn't do Aunt Beck anymore. Becky's Creations has got me hooked on making baskets, crocheted baskets, and any variation thereof. I don't know what it is. I guess it's my personality. I just get hooked on something, like hooked on phonics, and then I just can't stop until I make like 1,200 of them. It's hard on the hands though, using double or triple yarn, and crocheting it. And then I've been working on I don't know what you call what I was doing on my last live, where you crochet around either fabric or rope or something like that. I don't know what you call that, but it's side by side. Kimberly, is it a side by side? Oh yeah, yeah. Vitamin E for your incision site. Yeah, yeah. I'm bringing that down there. Yeah. Now this is looking very flat, but that's because I'm just base coating on specific colors. This is why when people would want to start a nativity project in ceramic, they would start way before Christmas, because between cleaning the pieces and, wanting to paint them different colors, that's why dry brushing is really cool. But I wanted this to look a little different than what I normally do. Once you can switch to that bigger brush, man, you can go a humming. Now I'm going to do the feet black, so that'll cover nicely. This is a beautiful green. I never had much success with glazing the pieces. I tend to really spread out my paint. With glazing, you kind of have to lay it on thicker because you want it, when it fires, you want it to melt and run all over your piece. All right, let's see. Let's get some of this rolling, rocking and rolling here. Okay, Ange. Oops, I got a little close there, Lord. Simmer down now. Does anybody else paint ceramics here? Like now? I know Marty said she did it when she was a younger gal. I'm surprised at how many people are interested. When I go to check my statistics for my channel, it's always, always, always one of my ceramic videos that still has the highest viewed numbers, which it just blows my mind, really. Oh, she did, Candy? Oh, wow. And Susan did it when she was young, too. Yeah. In the mall back in Pennsylvania, I haven't been to a mall really here in Jersey. Gosh, I don't think since I moved here. But when I used to go to the mall, they started to open ceramic studios and kids could go and, have a party and paint stuff. Okay, Gail. Good girl. Feels like I was in the 20s. No, when her was in her 20s. We watched that movie called The Intern the other night. Got Anne Hathaway in it. And Susan said I worked cleaning greenware for a bit for a snooty ceramic shop. I cried, oh yeah. And that dust is not fun. The shop I was talking about where I could go to get ceramics here in Jersey. I think it's called Mushroom Ceramic Shop or something like that. And my husband Ron said he would take me. I'm not too great with directions and stuff. So he said, yeah, we'll go. So for whatever reason, I got dressed and we went. I didn't really even think about it. And I was there shopping for greenware. Well, it's so dusty. And the whole shop, very dusty. And when I went to make my purchases, I was just covered in this white dust. The owner said, "You're probably not happy you wore black today." I said, "You know what? I should know better." And then there's I have a little Baroque. I sold it, I think, a little Baroque bird that I purchased when I was in that shop in Pittman, New Jersey, and where the shop was then located, it's not there anymore. Um, there was a ceramic shop right across the street. I couldn't believe it. So, but like I said, I'm a snob, and I don't like to just paint anything. I don't need a happy face container. Sorry. Sorry, sorry. I mean, I had painted, I think he just got rid of them. There's great big anybody that was into ceramics years ago, those great big dolls, and they were by Donna too. They came in 2 pieces. They were huge. Oh my gosh, they had to be like 20 inches tall or something. They were for in a bay window, like carolers. All right, that I can do with the big brush. Bum 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 ba bum. Do you do any ceramic stuff with your students, Candy? When I taught and had my lessons and had our kiln, we were living in the house next to my mom and dad that my dad owned. That was his mom and dad's. Very small house. And so we had the kiln and we had the classes down in the basement. Well, it was like, yeah, I think your students would like it. Sometimes you can get like little ornaments or just little figurines, like little snowmen or little chicks or something like that. Um, and you cannot believe these small, skinny, narrow steps I had had my students um, walk down to get to the basement. Oh my gosh, those steps were scary. There was a set of sisters. Gosh, I don't remember their names, but the one sister. Now these were grown women. They were lovely ladies. But the one lady talked like this. This was her regular voice. This is how she talked. And she would tell us this. She told the story where I guess one day at home she answered the phone. So she said, "Hello." And the person on the other end said, "Hello, can I talk to your mom? Can I talk to your mommy?" She said, "I am the mommy." I'm trying very hard not to hit their little chinny chin chin with my brush. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is so you're not totally bored out of your gourds. Is after I get this base coated on, look, see, I left some dust there in that crack I didn't realize was there. Whoops. Put my brush in the wrong color. I think we'll do the face. We'll do the face. Now, I painted the faces. I did it again. I painted the faces quite some time ago. So I'm hoping that I can, it looks like I've got a little mark on the one face. Does anybody have an eye color suggestion for me? I did see the little sunflower girl. I just did her eyes, you know, in the browns and gold to kind of go with that. But I don't want to, I don't want to make this gal's, these little people, their eyes, you know, red to go with the back. Well, that's where dry brushing would be good for you, Kath, because then you could just do it all like one color, like a dark green or a black, and then you dry brush on top of it. And you see, I did just get her cheek. You don't have to be so fiddly. Yeah, I just got it on her sleeve. Green. Okay, Marty. All right, so I've got some white here. I'm going to paint in the whites of her eyes, their eyes. See, now these little figures have really nice little spaces for the eyes. They're nicely indented. So it's easy to follow and get color in there like you need it to be. So let's see. I don't know that I want okay, Angie's back. Uh-oh. She's mad as a hornet. All right, so I'm going to use a small brush for this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And I like to twirl my wet hen. Ooh, that's a good one. I might need 2 coats. Good morning, Journey. She has a hair appointment. Oh, that's good to know, Journey. Journey said that Hobby Lobby has Easter ceramic stuff for 66% off. That's cool. Hi, Chris. Good morning. Now, one thing you need to know when you're painting ceramic, like some other surfaces that you might paint, you want to let your paint dry before you do a second coat, or else it's going to peel back up. And I may have to switch to my other glasses in a moment. Now they look a little spookish. And the last couple of years, I've had a hard time finding dry brushes that I like to use. So I did buy a set, but they're really big. Okay, sweetie. If you don't get back, Gail, that's fine. You have a good day. And I hope your nights start to get better for you. So, of course, if I'm going to dry brush the face, you want a smaller brush. So now I was thinking about doing the little hood black like the dots. I need a raspberry or pinky color for the cheeks. I got the cheeks on the Sunflower Kid really quite dark, so I'm not sure I want to do that again. Let me try this color. This one, oh, pink blush. Well, now that just might work. Let's see. So the brushes that I finally found have this, great big long, like, I don't know, artist brush. I should have my husband sand, cut those off. But I like to use the white. This is how they look when they're new. This set came with all these gigantic brushes. It's like a bristly, coarse brush because I'm going to use it dry. And cautioning Gail, she gets in the shower. So dry brushing, you're going to start with the dry brush, and I like the stiffer brush. Maybe a soft brush works. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I guess I should. And I'm just going to tip this in the color that I want, and I'm going to work out most of the color onto a paper bag or Lori, you just really don't do anything, do you? What, you mean like in around the house? No. I'm not sure I follow you, Susan. You'll have to give me another clue. You mean like sanding off my brushes? Yeah, no. I'm not going near the sander or the whatever you call it, the saw. So I'm just dry brushing a little bit of color on these cheeks. And this is coming up a little darker than I thought. But that's okay. And I like to put the color on, like you would put on your makeup. I don't want it down here on the front. My brother is on the phone and I'm waiting on a call. Oh, he told me that I have a phone. Did you give them your cell phone, Ange? It'll be all right, honey. They'll leave a message. Or if they can't get through on the house phone, they'll probably try your cell phone. Don't get your knickers in a knot. Now, dry brushing over a smooth surface is not easy to get, a really nice look at times. But when you have texture, it works a lot better. So, oh, it's funny. This one's a lot heavier than the other one. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? They left this one, I guess, sit with the slip in it a little longer. Yeah, you can see the difference. Look. Can you see the difference? See how thick that is compared to, oh, you love power tools? Well, maybe they do look the same. I don't know. The one's definitely heavier. Oh, yeah, no. if I'm perfectly honest about this, Susan, I don't want to get it out and I don't want to put it away. I don't know where he's got it. And he's happy to do it for me. Now, I'm really exaggerating these cheeks because it's like a woodland creature, right? Kind of like a woodland creature. All right, so now I'm going to leave this dry because I might have to come back and use that again. Now I'm going to take my little brush while I have this pink here, and I'm going to do her lips. Some color on the lips. And this, of course, I'm just going to paint. I could dry brush that, but I'm going to paint this. And I might change this and put some red on here, but for right now, I'm just going to do it pink. I'm going to do it pink, I think. Yeah, she might need some red. Kath is going to make pudding. She feels like pudding. Pudding. I'm going to do another coat of white while I'm here. Still thinking about what color green I want to do the eyes. And then I'm going to float some color around the outside of her face. I was thinking about like a gray or a black, which is unusual, I know. But see, that hood's going to be black. So I kind of want to make it look like the hood and her face are kind of one. I don't know. That might be a little weird. Still got a little bit of water on that brush. And they do have, I say she, but they have eyebrows. Okay, so let's see. Let's put a little black out. Let's just see how this looks. If I can open it. Oh, red velvet cake. I love cake. But to me, red velvet really doesn't it just tastes like chocolate. All right, so now I don't really want dark black along the face, so I need to be very cautious. And if I put color around the face, like I float color around the face, like I was just saying, if I don't like it, I can always paint over it, but I don't really want to have to paint over it. If you know what I mean. Jelly bean. Now I want to get down under. I often think, I wonder how it would be. Like, what if if I had a small stencil and then took say, like one of my oxide inks and put a little subtle pattern on it. Susan said it is red. Oh, there's Judy. Hi, Judy. Red velvet chocolate chunk muffin. Oh, yeah, I guess so. That sounds crazy good. It is just chocolate, says Susan, with a bottle of red dye. Oh, but it's the customary cream cheese frosting that makes it fab. Yes. See, I think you can taste the I think you can taste the food coloring. I don't know, different strokes, right? All right, I just want to see. I got a wild hair on that brush. I don't want to make extra mark on her little face. I'm gonna have to see if I can snip that hair. There you go. Just take the leftovers in the icing bowl. Always grew up saying icing, not frosting. And I grew up saying stuffing, not like for a turkey, or chicken stuffing. Stuffing rather than filling. And I always said stuffed peppers. And my neighbor says filled peppers. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Isn't it just funny? Hmm. I don't think I'm going to do the black. I think I'm going to do, on her face. How about when you, oh yeah, that's good, Kathy. Kathy says icing on graham crackers. How about when you take the cake or cookies? I think they do it with cookies too. And you crumble them up and you mix in the icing and make those little balls and stick them on a, is that how the recipe goes? Isn't it icing? Oh, maybe it's cream cheese. Hmm. Okay, so I wanted to make a simple pot of soup. I wanted to make split pea soup in my slow cooker. Now, some of you, not all of you, but some of you know that my husband does all the cooking. I gave up that job a long time ago because my family just eats plain stuff. And of course, he's home, retired now. So, you know, he enjoys it, doesn't mind it. So he cooks. He cooks what he wants, and I'm happy to eat it. But he doesn't really do soup. He does well, not couple really. He does a knockoff soup for a copycat soup from Olive Garden. But other than that, he really doesn't make soup. He doesn't really eat soup. I know, right, Candy? Me either. Oh, I cannot get this black open. Um, so I read a couple of recipes, had my peas, rinsed my peas, put in chicken broth, and then my daughter had ham bone. I said, don't throw that out. I'm going to make soup. And then she had, the liquor, I guess they would say, from the ham cooking. Well, I didn't think to taste that. So I dumped that in and then added water to make up the difference of the amount of, you know, um, liquid I needed for the beans. Chopped up my celery, my onion, a little bit of carrot, threw in there. Okay, while I've got this, I'm going to let that dry for a second. And then I added salt. Not a lot of salt, but I did add salt. So I left it cook for a couple of hours and then I tested it. Oh, look, I missed the green there. Oh my gosh, it was like a salt lick. I mean, it was it was you couldn't eat it. You couldn't eat it. It was so salty. So, of course, instead of checking online, I thought I'll just add some lentils and I cut up a couple potatoes, put potatoes in there, thinking that would absorb the salt. So then I left it cook till the lentils got soft where I could taste it again. It was still crazy salty. Well, these got soft with no problem. But I mean, they were in a slow cooker for hours, you know? Oh my gosh. So then I Googled, and of course, there's a different opinions about everything. So some said add dairy, some said add vinegar. I didn't really want to add vinegar to the soup. So I put in some, I did add potatoes, Candy. It didn't make a difference. Yeah, there was so much salt. It didn't make a difference. It had to be that ham juice that I added. So anyway, long story short, it all went down the garbage disposal. It was just like it was just like a big pot of refried beans. I had so much of it. It was still pretty salty, even with adding the dairy. This is why I don't cook. And there you have it. Man, I was wanting some pea soup. I mean, I have made, I guess, but you know, it just seemed like for soup, the okay, Journey, have fun. It just seemed like the dairy was the better choice for for that. But anyhow, where should I use you? I guess it is. Trying not to see. I need to lean my finger on something so I can keep my hands straight. My hands are getting shakier as I get older. I find my left hand is really shaky sometimes. Yeah, I need to make a hair appointment. I haven't been forever just because I can just pull it up in a ponytail or whatever, and I don't go anywhere. Okay, Chris, thanks for stopping in. She's testing things for her channel and she hopes she can have them ready for Sunday. All right. Have a good day, Chris. This is what I do. I get too involved in other stuff and I don't pay attention to stuff I want to do for my channel. And by other stuff, I mean watch other videos. other videos. I love lives. I love watching the lives because to me, it's like sitting with a couple friends, even if I'm not chatting that much. Not even watching to see if my screen's getting blurry. All right, so now I have to really think about green for the eyes. So I'm going to do the iris first. Maybe I should do them like a freaky green because I'm going to try to put other color around it. I'm not just going to do green. Oh, a darker green. All right, little buddies, just make room for each other here, please. All right, let's see. Let me get all that black out. I can always paint over it. So this is a festive green. I want them to be bright, I think. Methinks. All right, let's just put a little dot in there. We're not going to use much. We're not going to need much because it's just a little tiny eyeball. Susan said, I've been deep cleaning my space here, craft room, everything room. It's big. This is my epiphany on how craft rooms get messy. We clean and organize. We never leave extra. Yes. And I never really, well, I don't know. Okay, I have to put my other glasses down. Now, these are like, super intense readers, so I can't really read chat for a moment, but I need these to do the eyeballs. I'm going to try the bright green, and I'm just going to make, I hope, haven't done this, I hope. See, I still can see that little hair. I wonder if I have any little, I wonder if I got any little scissors here now. Okay, I think I got it. I can't talk and I can't breathe when I do this. Mm. I'm trying to make the best round circle that I can. Sometimes I have to flip it over. And the acrylic dries pretty quick. You know, if you brush it out. Now, what I don't think I have is a little angle brush. I don't think I pulled out a little angle brush. I really like my angle brush. I like the filbert and I like the angle brush. They are my favorite. Oh, thanks, Marty. Susan said I find stamps at the thrift store and shove them anywhere. She's a shover. I'm a stacker. I shove things too. Well, sometimes you just don't have time. You got to get on to other stuff and you're not sure where you want to put something. And, you know, it's easy to be shoving things. I've got my paintbrushes back in this, underneath this shelf. Let's see, let's pull them out so I can waste them a lot of time because I can't see. I need like a quarter or an eighth. I had some eighths that are really quite nice for a small space. Gosh, I don't see any. Have I one? Well, there's one, but it's not very small. Oh dear. There's one. This one's beat to the socks. We'll see if we can get that to work. I just want to put some like shadowing or around the iris. Judy said, I used to do ceramics when I was first married. Then I went to work and most of my creative things were, me too, Judy. And I did a panther for my husband with a red glow. Ooh, that sounds cool. When I took my certification course for the Duncan Ceramics, I got to do airbrushing. So I have a Canadian goose that I airbrushed. I quite like that. Guess we have some holiday stuff packed away in the attic, but we don't really get that jazz out anymore. Now I'm going to attempt to float some color around the edge of those eyeballs. Now I want to pick out, let me just try this. I'm going to pick out, oh, I should have kept that angle brush out. Oh no, I don't want metallic. Although metallic might be cute. Oh gosh, this feels almost empty. Honey brown, honey brown, honey brown. Oh yeah, that baby's, there ain't nothing left in that baby. Nothing, honey. Nothing, honey. All right, let's spin the wheel. The wheel of fickle. All right, this is cinnamon. This is a folk art. Yeah, folk art's really a thick paint. And that's great for one stroke, but it's not my preference when I'm doing this kind of stuff. All right, here's another honey brown. I guess he did, Judy. He wasn't letting that baby go. Okay, a little honey brown. A new honey brown, not shaken. You got to get that thick, goopy stuff at the top of the bottle mixed in. Ooh, you got trouble. If you don't get it mixed in, you got trouble. Gonna have to use a flat. Gonna have to use a flat. That's better. All right, so I'm going to tip my brush into water, tap it off on both sides, which is what I like to do, and then work the paint through my brush. And I'm going to give these little kids a little bit of color around their face. It's somewhat subtle. Reload, work it out. Maybe we'll put a little bit under the chinny chin. And I want to also do this like around the sleeves. Hey, there's Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Go around her little arms. I always call them hers. Little she-bugs. A little she-bug. The idea is try not to have a line, you know. Now, I think there's a lot of this I'm going to have to do touch-up work on, but I'll do that on my own. So you don't have to witness that part of it. I can see under her little chinny chin, it wasn't cleaned all that terrific. Now that might not be for everybody, but I like it. I just noticed fingernails. I wonder if I need to do polish. Ooh. Joni? Hi, Joni. Good morning. Let's see. Have to get under the little chinny chin. Under the lip a little bit again. It just adds a little something. Okay, Susan. She must find food. We were talking about cake. So what have you been up to, Joni? Okay, let's see here. All right. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this. Where did I throw that? Oh, no, Lori. Oh, I put it in here because it was so stiff. I'm going to take this little angled brush and I'm going to attempt to put a little bit of this dark green. Joni said she's been up to ducklings. We have 3 now. One is just about big enough to be outside. And oh my goodness, how fun is that? All right, let's see if I can get this to do what I want. Oh boy, that brush is really embarrassing. Oh, look what I just did black. I got my finger in. No, that's not going to work. That brush is toast. Toast, I say, toast. All right, let's try this flat one. And just load a little teeny tiny bit on. See, because the eyes are so little. I should have put on my other glasses. I don't know if you can tell. See, just a little bit of a shadow, like around that one side. Did we name the ducklings? Oh my gosh, you're going to get a duck house. How cute. I remember getting chicks and ducks at Easter when we were kids. Oh my gosh. That's one of my fonder memories, right? Dad would come home with a couple of chicks. You can see it a little bit, not much. All right, now I'm going to go into the black and get the pupil in. Other glasses down. So let's do the left eye first. Just circle inside of a circle. I like to hold it. I like to hold it up close to me. So it's a little different trying to do it away from I don't know why I clutch it, but I do. All right. I don't know if they are, Joni. I bought them online from a ceramic shop. They didn't have that in the description, so I don't know. But they do remind you. All right, I'm going to take my liner brush while I have my glasses to see with on, and I'm going to load this up. I'm going to take some of my black paint and really kind of water it down a little bit. So I'm going to put an eyeliner. Okay. I'm making these a little heavier than I normally would. Cover that little bit up there. Now we just need a little highlight. Oh, I guess I should show you that one. Oh, my camera cleared up pretty good. All right. All righty. Okay. Now, let me catch up here. Oh, okay, Ange. Great. So great. Ange goes on Tuesday. Find out what's what. Pam is making that. I forget the name of that cake. Or Southern cake. Not devil's food. Red velvet. Okay, Judy, you're killing me here. You're killing me. You're killing me. Judy's got the best ideas. All right, so let's get some black on these little feet. Get those eyes a second to dry. I haven't even looked at my time. Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Now the black feet and the hat, they have a little bit of texture to them. So when I dry brush those, we should be able to see a little something something. I'll get up that little bug butt up in there. Little bug butt. Oh, you put bananas in there. 3 eggs, and she added some. Ooh, I love I love walnuts. I love nuts. I love nuts. Now you could paint the bottom all one color, but oh, I didn't. I didn't. All right. I missed some green on here. Gosh, I didn't do so good. Well, it depends on who's doing the experimenting. My sister Jackie would experiment at home when we were still living at home. We weren't kids, but oh my gosh, some of the stuff she did to tuna fish, and oh my goodness. My other sister and I'd be like, yeah, no, we're not eating that. I don't remember exactly right now what she used to put in it, but I do remember that we were not having it. Oh, that's an idea. That sounds good. Carrot cake mix for banana bread. I see some spots on the head that I missed. Now I'm thinking, this is really going to be weird. I'm thinking about doing the eyebrows the dark green. 'Cause they're bugs. I mean, they're bugs, right? That's a little bizarre, I guess, but now you can see where I've missed places, you know. Got a little spot over there I need to touch up, and I need a highlight in the eye. My mom had, worked with a gal. My mom worked in a school kitchen, and, the lady that ran the kitchen, she could really man, some of her recipes and her stuff was so good. Her name was Jean Erbrick, I'll never forget, and she made a French vanilla cake in like a sheet pan, and the cake was a little more dense than normal, and the frosting wasn't super sweet. It wasn't cream cheese, I don't think. I think it was a cooked frosting. Oh my word. Absolutely divine. All right, let's put a little highlight. Let's see, I put that one. Let's go here and here. So it just looks so much better once you put the little highlight in. I don't think I'm going to put anything on the bottom. I might put a little bit of the browns. Oh, see, I like so many of them. I don't know that well, I guess that's not true. I guess if I had to pick, I would say maybe peach pie. But let me tell you what, this girl ain't turning down a piece of pie. Mm-mm, mm-mm. My gram used to make a rhubarb pie. All right, I'm thinking the red. Oh boy, there's not much in there. But I was thinking this for a shading red. Let's see the two of them together. Golly sakes, this is great. I'm using up some paint. This one, oh, can I get it open? Oh, I don't know if I can get this open. I don't know if it'll squirt out. Peach custard, when we had picnics at my grandpa's house. Okay, we're just going to let that go. Let it go, Lori. Let it go. Let it go. And let's go with a true red. And we would have an all-day picnic. I mean, we'd have a big bonfire. Grandpa had a trash can that he made a mesh basket for that he could just load in like 50 ears of corn. It wasn't that many, you know, but it was more than like we had a big gang of people. You couldn't, you know, by the time you would have enough pots to cook the corn, just wasn't happening. So he devised this thing. It was the only thing, you know, we didn't collect trash in it. He just cooked corn in it. It was just for picnics. And okay, is this my little, yeah. And then my grandmother would spend days making pies for the picnics. And she would make a lemon pie, not lemon meringue, a lemon pie. And my uncles would tease her and call it lumpy lemon because sometimes she didn't get all the thickening agent, you know, dissolved. But she would make peach custard, strawberry rhubarb, apple, pumpkin. I mean, there'd be like at least 10 pies. But we had like family, extended family, You know, there'd be 40 or 50 people at this picnic. The peach custard was really good. Banana cream. Oh, dear Lord. Pineapple upside down. Yes. Oh, Judy. Yes, strawberry rhubarb. Yes. Gail's back. Now she's on the CPM, aka torture machine. Oh, Gail. You're doing great, I'm sure. Maybe I need the cheeks a little more. I know, talking desserts. Sorry, Gail. And then she'd have brownies and other stuff too. It wasn't just the pies. And then they come out with popsicles. And then my sisters and I say to each other, and we wonder why we look the way we look. These are really cute. They're darling. They're just darling. They need some eyebrows. I've got little eyebrow lines. Let's see how this goes. I don't know. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I guess I should give them lashes. Yes, Pam, we're going to blame you. A little slim trim Pam. It's all that shoveling that snow. All right, this one, the eyebrows are kind of wore off. Now there's a little ledge on these for the eyelid, which is hard to do the eyelashes around. You can't see that. Well, it's a bug, okay? These are supposed to be a bug. Yeah, it was not Angie this time. She's off the hook this time. Normally it's Angie's fault. All right, let's start and just maybe just do the corner with the eyelashes. Oh, I should have switched my glasses. That looks okay, huh? Maybe we'll just do a little. Wait a minute, I got to put my other glasses down. Oh, what'd you get, Susan, now that we're talking about food? She probably got something healthy. Let's just put a little line there. And it looks better. That looks better. All right, let's do the same for this one. Just give a little line there so we can see the where the eye ends there in the corner. All right, what do you think? Do you think I should make these cheeks a little darker? All right, so I'm going to do this crazy fire engine red for the back. A cheese sandwich? I haven't had me a cheese sandwich in a long time. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm going to need something after I stream out. I'm very hungry after I stream. Oh dear, I got some kind of a hair or something. Now this, I'm going over the spots because I'm going to come back in and paint those black. And black, of course, will cover the red. And I'm hoping I can do most of the red with a bigger brush. See, now I would never say, growing up, we never said toasted cheese either. Till I got older, I never heard that either. We always said grilled cheese. And grilled cheese and tomato soup is yummy. But you know what? I'm not big on melted American. So as an adult, I don't really eat that anymore unless I go to a restaurant and can order something different or, have what I make it myself. I like a different kind of cheese, maybe provolone or Swiss, and then with some onion on it or something, or tomato. But just a straight up American grilled cheese, I'd rather have it not toasted, if that were the case. I like American cheese, just don't like it melty. Does that make it un-American? My husband eats, and would feed the kids, and they eat it too. And see, the red's not covering that green. What I call plastic cheese, or cheese in the wrapper. So, Ange, have you talked to the doctor, like, or is this what your Tuesday meeting is for? As far as like how many weeks for your hand to heal? Right, I'm gonna have to do 2 coats. And the other thing, did they say what caused it? Oh, a big dill pickle sounds good. Actually, a big dill pickle on a grilled cheese would sound good to me. So when my sisters and I go, well, it's mostly my younger sister and I, if we go out to eat somewhere, we might send each other pictures of what we ordered. Our middle sister, not so much, but so my younger sister sends a picture the other day. We were in the car driving, so hubby was looking at it, and he said, it's some kind of food. I don't know. It looks like a pile of French fries with lettuce on them. I said, it looks disgusting. I said, okay. So we stopped in, I forget, he had to run in somewhere to look for something. I better use a little brush. And, here it was be no, I haven't, and I don't know, I'll know on Tuesday. Okay, cool. Um, here was like an open-faced BLT with french fries on the side. He's like a goof. Didn't look anything like what he described. It looked absolutely scrumptious to me. You could see all the bacon and as they say, different strokes. When we first time we went up to, my middle sister, Nancy, we went up to her house. Her and her husband purchased a house in, upstate New York in the Adirondacks on a lake. So we were going up for a visit, and they said, "You gotta try this stuff. We discovered this stuff they have up here. It's called poutine." And we're like, "What?" It's French fries with gravy on it and cheese. Well, my husband's been eating French fries with gravy since I've known him. We just didn't know it had a name. And oh baby, oh baby. If you never tried poutine, try it. When they last call, just then, it is to come in and they'll go from there. Oh, okay. So you had probably, if I'm got this right, Ange, you had an appointment with your primary doctor who then had a surgeon call you. You got to go see the surgeon, and then he'll tell you what's what, and then schedule you, and then what's going on. I have two nieces that both say that gravy is their favorite hot beverage. All right, now while I'm there, let's get up in here. I know, right, Tony? If these kids are, I mean, we'd have to get them like at Thanksgiving, get in line last because they'd use all the gravy before anybody else got any. Leave some gravy for other people. All right, how we doing here? How we doing on time? Okay, we're good. My husband makes grilled cheese and dips it in chocolate milk. You know, like Joni was saying, tomato soup. He does chocolate milk. And our daughter will eat it that way too. Our son, of course, doesn't do grilled cheese. Our son doesn't eat normal food. He doesn't want to try anything. He's now 36. He's still the same way. We have, and I'm sure everybody has this, you know, you have recipes in your family that people have made over the years, and then so you dub them by their name. Like we have Ron's Chicken. It's not Ron's Chicken. It's a recipe he makes all the time, and everybody likes it, but it's a recipe everybody else uses too, you know. It's not, he didn't come up with it. But then we've got Fred's potatoes. That was my uncle. He would make these potatoes where you just take a potato, you cut it in half, and you put butter in your pan. You get your pan hot, like you're it's not really a pan, like say a 9 by 13 for in the oven that's got sides like a metal baking dish kind of. So you melt the butter in there, and then you cut your potatoes in half and put your potatoes face down and scoop them and rub them around in that butter and then push them aside. And then you cook them till they're done. And right before they're done, you know, right before you're ready to take them out, you flip them over and they toast up a little bit more. And then you can sprinkle some, you know, paprika or something on there if you want. But it's just, you know, it's just really basically a baked potato, but it's like cut in half instead of just a regular potato. Do you think my son will try that? Nope. Nope. He'll only eat mashed potatoes. I had C-sections with our kids, so I was awake, but, you know, I didn't know, I didn't feel anything. And I didn't want to watch. My husband wanted to watch, which is fine. All right, doing a second coat on here. I got some places I need to touch up. I had a little lump on my finger. Gosh, I was a young adult, not married, living at home. And every time this is my right index finger, you can still see I got a little scar there. Every time I would pick up a pencil or a pen to write or do anything, it pained me. So my mom finally oh, Lori, I just got red on the scale sleeve. My mom convinced me to go have it looked at, so it had to be removed. And they did what they called a twilight. So I could hear all them talking, but I was kind of half in and half out, you know, sleepy. Of course, I didn't feel anything, but I could hear them talking. Okay, so if you get at it right away, sometimes you luck out and you can wipe it off. But once the acrylic dries, oh, you got trouble. Now I keep picking these up and I'm not watching if my hands are clean. And I'm going to end up getting paint on their little faces. Oh, that's great. That's great, Pam. I don't even want to tell you what my daughter did with my toenail. Let's just say I've got a wonderful child. Wonderful, wonderful child. Okay, now I'm thinking I want to dry brush the green, the dark green on the, oh, look at me, see? I keep forgetting they're wet. Ugh. I don't know, Gail. Maybe. I would think so. I would think that would be fairly popular. And dragons? I know dragons. There was a girl in the co-op that I was in, the local one here. She did ceramic stuff, and her dragons were very, actually, I think her husband and her both painted. And her dragons were very popular. Don't want that on the dark. So I'm thinking maybe if I try, I can always dry brush on top of it. If I try the dark green over top of the little noodle, the little head here, I might like that okay. Instead of doing, normally what you would do is like a darker color and then dry brush with a lighter color so you can see the detail of whatever you're dry brushing over top of. I totally missed that part. I got red on the little suit there. Now I am hurrying a little bit. I'm going a little quicker than what, I normally would. Uh-oh, cramp in my hand. Oh, not good. Not good. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I've just got to rub that out a minute. So let's have a little chat. No, these have been fired. This is acrylic paint. If I fired them again, the paint would just burn off. I'm not using a glaze. And so then these I can either brush on a sealer. I need to seal them, but we have an acrylic spray sealer that I use, and that will keep them pretty good shape. Now, these probably could go out like on a porch, or say you had a table out under a porch or a patio. It just couldn't be like out in your garden, and hold up. And you could probably get an indoor-outdoor sealer, and you might do okay, but I haven't tried that. I guess if I did the fingernails, that would probably be a little too much in your face, don't you think? All right, so I think this red is pretty dry. Got skid marks on them. I'm going to get a different brush to dry brush his head. And I'm going to try the dark green. Susan said, when you said red at the beginning, I thought all that green was red like ceramic glazes are. No, this is all acrylic paint. Sorry if that was confusing, if I made it seem confusing. I misspoke or whatever, which is possible. All right, so black, I have black here on our little Tootsies, and I'm doing the same thing. Put some paint on the brush, taking off most of the color. And I'm going across for the most part, the design or the texture in the piece. I'm not sure if you can see. You can see a little bit. I'll put a little more on my brush, work it in. And with this kind of thing, I might even just spot hit it. And then I think I'm going to do a little bit of a lighter color, maybe the lighter green, and just hit it here and there to just see. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the glaze is kind of like it looks cloudy, but you can usually see, well, they have different kinds. Some they have different like chunks in it that when you glaze it and when you fire it, it kind of pops and you'll get pieces of glass. But it's basically ground up glass. And when you paint it on and the heat from the kiln hits it, it just liquefies and runs all over the piece and seals it. All right, so now, well, do I have the black all? Yeah, I can probably do this step because see, some of this I'm going to have to touch up. And I'm not going to dry brush everything because then I have to. Oh, really? Were you a nurse? When our son was young and we were trying to figure out the ADD thing for him and all what was going on, we would wait. My husband would wait till we were right. Well, he took him the one time by himself. Wait till right when he got to the doctor's office, and Brian would ask, what were they going there for? And then Ron would tell him you have to have blood drawn. The kid would kid would take off across the parking lot. Ay, ay, ay. All right, now this is going to show up a little bit more because I went to that lighter color. And I might do a little bit under here. Just give a little bit of a highlight. I might spatter the overalls. But see, you get a lot of bang for your buck. With the dry brushing, I think. And it's not for everybody, that's for sure. See, and I didn't wet my brush. I went from the dark color to the light green. You just kind of work it out. Put on as much or as little as you want. I'm going to do under here, a little bit down on the belly. I'm going to go up here, do a little bit around her face. Yeah, there's that thing that people have. And it's not all just blood, when remember years ago somebody might say, "Oh, they faint at the sight of blood," or "I faint at the sight of blood." That's a real thing. It starts with a V. I forget what it's called. But it also can be, and blood might be the trigger. And a friend of ours, his trigger is pain, and we have a dining room table that's what do they call it? Like a bar style. It's like a pie. So it's like bar stool chairs that are our dining room chairs. And the way he was sitting on it pinched something in his leg and he started to have pain. Well, we didn't realize he had the issue and he started to get this look on his face and his wife is like, "We gotta get him down. We gotta get him down. He's gonna pass out. He's gonna pass out." But the trigger for him was pain. So as soon as he had pain for even just a few minutes, out he went, man. He went out like a light. All right, so now I think I'm gonna go into the white and really lighten this up a bit. Judy, Susan said, I asked the man, a big man, if he's okay with a shot. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Then his big 300 pounds pins me next to a cabinet. And then they're embarrassed. Yeah, right. And they don't want anybody to know. And now I'm going to go over, and this, I probably am going to have to do this over, but I'm just want to show you. Can you see how it's just picking up that kind of design in the little shirt with the dry brushing? Hey, Ree. Ree said, I'm absolutely freaking hard with needles. No matter how many I've had, each one is a nightmare. Aw. See, I'm like that with a blood pressure cuff because of the fibromyalgia. Oh my gosh. And it's only a couple of seconds. And I know it's only a couple of seconds, but it feels like it's going to be forever. And it feels like your arm is going to explode. Yeah. See, now this still has a little bit of green in my brush, which is fine. And then I can just keep adding the white, and that's going to continue to lighten that up. I had to go for a test. Forget what the heck they called it, but it was to see if I had a problem with circulation or something. And I asked if it was an invasive test, and they said, no, it's not invasive. Well, what I didn't know was here it was like blood pressure cuffs for your entire body. And they had them around my thighs, around my calf, around my feet, my arms, my upper arms, my lower arms. It was a freaking nightmare for me. And I said to the girl, I have fibromyalgia. I'm gonna go insane here. She's like, I'll go as quick as I can, but it's got to pump up. Ugh. Risa, when I was a kid, they would literally have to strap. Yeah, oh, sweetie. Oh. All right, now I'm trying to lighten this up as much and get as much green out of this brush. I don't want to really get another brush per se. Now just hit that white in a couple of spots. Now what I'm thinking about doing on the back, let me get under her chin here. is I'm thinking if I just paint the black spots, I'm thinking about putting some, like floating some black around the spots and then coloring, painting the spots in. But then I also have this darker red. I'm thinking I want to float some color around the edge. I don't know. I'm just, they use pressurized suits to stabilize people with broken limbs and ugh. Ugh. All right, that's a darker red. And this might be very subtle. I'm thinking it'll probably be pretty subtle. And let's see, do I have a bigger? Let's see if this will work. Oh, this is one of my old Donna Dewberry brushes. Let's see if this will work. All right, so I'm going to put some water in my brush, take out most of the liquid, tap that, load the corner, and then I'm just going to work that paint through. This might not really, yeah, you're not really going to see too much, so that's not going to be worth the time to take to do it. It's so subtle, you can't even see it. So we'll forget that. Let's get that little flat shader brush again. Now I'm going to go into the black. Let's see how this is. Let's see how this goes. This idea. Sometimes you get ideas and they just aren't that cool. All right, I'm going to put, um, I'm going to put black down the center where the little center crack is. And I'm just kind of watering that down a little bit. And it got a little darker than what I wanted. Let's take my baby wipe. Kind of cruddy that up a little bit. Yeah, see, so I have just a little bit of darkness in that crack. Years ago, we would like antique things. But I haven't done that in a long time. I don't have any of that stuff left. All right, so let's let that dry for a moment. And get a little more black on this one. Down the little center of the bug shell. I only have one good vein for them to draw blood. I mean, the last time I was in the hospital, this one girl, she nailed me so bad. You cannot believe the bruise I had. I thought, well, she comes back, she's not touching me again. She just looked at me. I looked at her like, well, what did you do? She's like, I just took your blood. So I never had to feel that bad before. It was horrible. It's horrible. Some things just come over you and you can't control it. That's how I am with certain people if they drive a car. Oh, Pam says her experiment is yummy. Um, like especially kind of mostly like with my son. And I'm better since I've been on Cymbalta. I don't want this to be real dark. This may not work. I don't know. I want this to I guess it's just going to make the, I think it's just going to make the black dots look bigger. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. All right, we're just going to do the black dots then. So I'm just going to paint in these little circles. Kind of brushing that black paint and wiping it off kind of dulled down that red a little bit, which I kind of like. And now for the spots. Ah, she's lost control. Yeah, we're crazy. Bye, Teresa. Ah, look at what I'm doing here. I know better than this. Look, I'm not paying attention. Let me get a little water on a Q-tip. There we go. That's better. I'm thinking of the underneath of the little bug shell I might paint black. I like the little smudges of black, I have to say. My black paint is getting thick from sitting on the palette. Well, this is about ready for me to wrap up here. We've got Kathy Arbor coming on in about 30 minutes, I would say. So let me just finish up a couple, and you can see that at least this one side is finished. But that's not too bad with talking and painting the different sections. This little one is. I'll post them on Instagram when I get them all finished. I got a little bit of touch up to do, and I think I want to spatter maybe the back. Looks like a polar bear. Really, Ange? Well, see how I spattered this one on the flower? I really kind of like that. Whoops, you know what? It never fails. I hit the camera at least once during a stream. So I think I'm going to spatter this shell with some black. And then I'll put some kind of metallic on the little boutons. And then they'll be finished. See, I think under here I'm going to do black. And I don't think I'm going to spot, see, like on this one, I did little dots around and on the feet. But I don't think I'm going to do that on the ladybugs. But I do like that. See, then there's a little, see, there's a little it there. That probably should be black too. Okay, so Susan said, ladybug fun fact. They are yellowish when hatched, and then orange, then red orange, then red. So they can lie about their age at the liquor store. So when I see the ladybugs and they're only like a light orangey rusty color, so they're kind of young. So if they're red, they're older. Thank you, Susan. That was very interesting. Who knew? All right, so that's my project for today. I'm glad I got these really almost finished. I have just a little bit left to do and a little bit of touch up to make them a little neater. I'll go wash my hands and that'll be a lot better, I think. I might add a little bit more to the cheeks. I think the cheeks need a little more color, but I think they are darling pieces. So, thanks for joining me. Leave me a comment if you're watching the replay and you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm hoping to get up to 2,000 subscribers maybe by summer. Of course, I got to come up with an idea to maybe do that. Oh, you thought ladybugs bit? Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. So thanks for being here. Kathy Arbor is up next. If you're inclined to watch her, she's quite talented. And it's Thursday. And it's just the beginning of the month. So thank you, Susan. Thanks, Ree. So there's no APG Jamie today because she's the third Thursday of the month. And Beth is on tonight. And there's probably a couple other girls that pop on. I'm usually always forgetting, but I think maybe Xandra comes on around 4. Tanya 2, perhaps. It's just all jumbled in my little brain. So have a good afternoon and don't forget, take time to be creative. And I will see you soon. Thank you, dear mods. Thank you, dear mods. Thank you, Judy. Have a great day. I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.